Welcome back, everyone. We're on round 2 of ranking episodes in My Little Pony. We're going to be doing season 2 today. I did season 1 last time and it was a lot of fun. Again, I haven't gone back. I will try to remember all of the names of the episodes and stuff. If I forget, I'll look them up. Most of them I know. Well, most of the ones that I like, I know. So, we'll see where this goes. I have a pretty good idea what's going to be number 1 just looking at the pictures. It's probably obvious. But yeah, let's start. First, I want to preface this off by saying I decided to go look at another small pony YouTuber's channel the other day. Just because I'm dumb and I like to torture myself and make myself annoyed. And they had like a review of the first season of MLP. And I watched a part of it, and one of their complaints was one of their complaints was that the characters, the main 5 in either episode 2 or episode 3, I think it was episode 3, Ticketmaster, the complaint was they are out of character. And I was just like, this person does not understand anything at all about anything. Because, like, we only had 2 episodes prior to Ticketmaster. You can't be out of character 2 episodes in when each of the main 5 probably had, like, 10 minutes, 12 minutes of development? There's not established characters. How the crap are you saying they're out of character if their characters haven't been established yet? Yes, they have some traits and they have some quirks, but an established character takes time. You can't just watch 2 episodes and then be like, oh, in the 3rd episode, they're different than the first 2, so they're out of character. No, we don't have an Anyways, I just thought that was funny because the second thing they said, like, that was already, like, ridiculous, but they said that the climax episodes, the openings and the enders, stuff like Return of Harmony that I'm about to get into, they said they were bad. And I said, how the crap do you think these are bad? That's insanity. I could definitely understand if you're talking about, like, maybe like season 5 and on, but like, and not even season 5, because season 5 is Starlight. Maybe season 6 and on? But season 6 doesn't even have one. It's Celestial. Anyways, this person's takes were just completely, like, atrocious. And I want to get into Return of Harmony Part 1, because that's the opener, and it just reminded me of that. This episode is really good. We get Discord, and contrary to my not thinking Discord is great, Discord is Discord. He is a huge part of the fandom. John Delancey is an amazing actor and voice actor. Discord sticks around for the entire rest of the 8 seasons. He's got some good moments. There's some great moments in this episode. Establishing him as Chaos is awesome. My only complaint really with this episode, like, without getting into it, like, super a lot, is, well, of course, it's always going to be that they make Celestia look like an idiot, but that's fine because she redeems herself in the second part. I really, really, really hate that Discord stole the elements of Harmony and then just, like, put them... That might have been the second episode. Anyways, obviously with the first... Okay, so I didn't explain the rules, but the rules are I start with the first episode, and then I decide if the next episode is better or worse than that episode. And then that goes to the next position, and so on and so on and so on until they're all done, showing eventually what is the basically best episode and worst episode of the entire thing. So, Return of Harmony Part 2. We get all of the discorded ponies. This is the first time we see them mean. This is great because we get this out of the way early. We know it's not really them. We know that they're being manipulated by Discord's chaos magic. Twilight saves them all. We get a really good part with Celestia in Return of Harmony Part 2, where she sends all of the letters back to Twilight, and that's really good because she's not useless yet. She knows what's going on. She knows how to motivate Twilight. She knows what'll change them back into their non-discorded forms. It kind of lends credence to the whole Celestia knows what's going on, and she has control of things, and she knows how to solve things without even having to directly intervene. Yeah, I really like this episode. Return of Harmony Part 2 is really good. It's a great opener. One of the best openers out of all the seasons. I think Friendship is Magic is incredible. I think that this one is really good. Third is Sombra. Fourth is Crystal. I won't get into that because that's like a whole nother thing. But I'd say the second part of this one is better than the first part. I like it more. I like the resolution. It's kind of funny how Discord just gets turned to stone again. That's random. But yeah. Lesson Zero. Lesson Zero is incredible. Lesson Zero is one of the most funny episodes. Lesson Zero is a great development for Twilight's character. It shows that she's like neurotic. I think that's the correct word. Neurotic and paranoid when it comes to getting things done, that she can be a worrywart. There's great animations on Twilight with the like part with the clock is ticking part, with the High Girls part when she's full on like just being super crazy. The message is amazing. The message is one of the best messages in MLP. This was the first episode in season 2 that made me think, okay, the quality here, we are definitely keeping the quality from season 1. And that's if it's important to your friends, it should be just as important to you. That is 100% true. You shouldn't just brush off other people's interests or likes or dislikes or worries, especially if they're your friends, because if you truly care about them, then their worries and their dislikes and their likes should be shared. And if you don't like the things that they like, that's fine too. But like, if the things that they like are important to them, they should be important to you regardless of whether you like them or not. Celestia shows up again. It's great. The girls are kind of douches here, which makes sense. They can be douches sometimes. That's been established in all of the first season with them doing certain things at certain times and being selfish. Lesson Zero is, in my opinion, like way, way, way better than Return of Harmony. I think Lesson Zero is incredible. Okay. Luna Eclipsed. Yeah, this episode is top 3 to 5 for me. Lesson Zero is like way, way, way up there. I can't even say how much I like this episode. The redesign on Luna was incredible. She's amazing. All of the animations for Luna, amazing. Like when she flies in and her cape turns into bats and flies away. Her voice acting is perfect. Tabitha is insane. The message is good, but it's kind of don't judge a book by its cover. But it's also like the scary thing. Like it's fun to be scared sometimes. I like that aspect too. Sometimes it is fun to be scared. Twilight being the one who interacts with Luna the most is great. This episode is like nearly perfect to me. I would say it's perfect. It's one of the perfect episodes of Friendship is Magic. Luna's voice lines, The fun has been doubled. Excuse me if I withhold my enthusiasm. There are so many lines she says that are perfect. Luna Eclipsed is gonna be like really, really, really hard to beat. Sisterhood Social. I love Rarity. I love Sweetie Belle. I love the CMC when they're not doing things that have to do with cutie marks. They're great when they're not the ones who are sitting there saying, let's just try random stupidity to try and get our cutie mark. Sister Hooves is amazing. It really makes you feel for Sweetie Belle because Rarity's kind of a jerk in it. We get funny moments where she finds the picture that Sweetie Belle drew. The heart one. It's you got the whole running the race and like not seeing that it's Rarity. We get wet Rarity towards the end when she's like all like in the rain or whatever. She looks really good there. Sister Hooves is really good. I really, really like Sister Hooves. I would put it probably about third, below Less Than Zero, but above Return of Harmony, which is par for the course up to this point for this season. I think that the quality of this season is so very good up to this point because like these 5 episodes are incredibly good. Like if I'm being honest, 10, 9, 9, 9 would probably be around my ratings. They're like these are like really good. I don't know. I might give Less Than Zero and Sister Hooves 10s too. These 3 episodes are really good. Then we get to Cutie Pox, and this is literally just an episode where I just don't care. I'm sorry. It's just an episode about Apple Bloom trying to get her cutie mark, and I think that the problem with that whole plot point is you can tell when they're going to get their cutie mark. If something serious or important is not being discussed about their cutie mark, it's like, yeah, they're not going to get their cutie mark doing this. Like this is not going to happen this episode. So you already know from the beginning and how seriously they're taking it, whether or not they're going to get their cutie mark. And then when you know that they're not, it's like, okay, so by the end of this episode, they're just going to learn again to not try to rush things. And that's what happens in this episode. The best part of this episode is my sister speaking in fancy Applejack line. And there's also that part with Pinkie Pie where, like, they're trying to get Apple Bloom to tell the truth. And Pinkie Pie is, like, the one who tells the truth and she starts crying. That part is really, really funny. But other than that, I'd say Cutie Pox is, like, bottom of the barrel. I don't care. Is this episode called May the Best Pet Win? I know that's the name of the song. Yeah, it is called May the Best Pet Win. So, this is an episode that goes both ways. May the Best Pet Win is an incredible song. May the Best Pet Win is super, super good. Rainbow Dash being a complete douchebag to Tank the entire time, and then Tank coming to save her, and Rainbow Dash still being a douchebag to Tank, and then finally being like, oh, I like Tank because he saved me. That's just awful. Tank should have been like, screw you, Rainbow Dash, you're stupid. I am great, and like, I saved your life, and now you want me as your pet? That's like a toxic relationship, but they're pet and owners, so whatever. I really like the song. Dash and Fluttershy are amazing together. Their voices, awesome. That's about it though. I really, really, really don't like the idea of the episode, which I think the moral is supposed to be, again, kind of don't judge a book by its cover. Rainbow Dash should have been like, oh, just because it's a turtle doesn't mean it sucks. But like, it should have been, you lose out on the thing that you take advantage of, and she was taking advantage of Tank the entire time. So I'd say like this episode is probably around here for me. If the episode was just May the Best Pet Win, the song, I'd probably put it up like right here, but it's not. I have to deal with Rainbow Dash's douchebaggery, and I don't need that. Mysterious Mare-Duel. 2 Dash episodes in a row. Yay! And by yay, I mean, I really don't like this episode. Dash is once again, we get 2 Dash being an absolute douchebag. We get 2 of those episodes in a row. She's all cocksure and like, oh, I'm the greatest. And she throws a freaking baby in this one to her mother. She just tosses it so she could take pictures. And Dash learns these lessons as early as now, not to be a cocky douche. And she never applies them. She has to learn them again later, and she's still a cocky douche later. And that sucks because it's not really Dash's fault. It's the writer's fault because they recycle these things because they're different. See, what happens is the writers who were writing this write this, and they go, man, I hope that later if someone does an episode, they actually think about what happened in these episodes, and the later writers don't. They just don't care about the product, and they're just like, I'll just write an episode. It doesn't matter. Mysterious Mare-Duel, yeah, I really don't like Mysterious Mare-Duel. It doesn't have a song to save it. Also, I saw a comic the other day, and it was about, like, Rainbow Dash getting mad at the others because they tricked her, and, like, Rainbow Dash turns into a Shadow Bolt, and she's like, I'll be a villain. And I was like, why would that even matter? Twilight stomps? Rainbow Dash can't do anything to Twilight. What is she gonna do? Fly really fast? Like, we've seen that Twilight can telekinesis Rainbow Dash's tail and stop her in midair. So, like, what are you gonna do? Fly? I'll just grab you and slam you into the ground. It was really dumb comic. Like, Rainbow Dash is not any more so a threat than, like, Applejack. Because she can fly, she can slam it. Oh, she can Rainbow Nuke. Yeah, she can Rainbow Nuke. And that is a threat. But it also is easily stoppable by telekinesis. Yeah, this episode I'd say is about down right here. It doesn't, oh, we're already in, okay, so it would be, this would be here, this would be here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this would be here. Here. It doesn't have a song. It doesn't have, like, anything that really matters. Its message is, like, don't be cocky. Yeah, that maybe don't be cocky. Don't be arrogant. I thought that was the Trixie message. Well, no, the Trixie message was like, don't, like, no, it was don't be arrogant. If you're talented at something, be modest. Yeah, I don't know what they were really trying for with the Mysterious Mare-Duel. Sweet and Elite. This is becoming popular, I believe. Becoming as popular as popular. I think this is the episode where Twilight dances like Elaine from Seinfeld. This episode is really, really, really good. If it's the one I'm thinking about, which it is, I'm pretty sure. We get Rarity going to Canterlot, and what happens is she's slowly melding into high society. We get Becoming Popular. The song is decent. It's not anywhere close to as good as Art of the Dress, like not like even in the same universe, but it's fine. And then what happens is she eventually is throwing a party for Twilight and the girls. Well, for Twilight. It's Twilight's birthday, I believe. And there's a party going on, like a Canterlot party, and she's trying to go to both of them. And, man, this episode is so good because of the moral. What ends up happening is she gets called out in front of everybody, and like, Fancy Pants is like, do you know these ponies? And Rarity, like they look worried, but she says yes. She's like, they are my best friends. And it's, like, so heartfelt and so warm and so awesome. I love that moment where she says, like she's like, I don't care. I don't care about popularity, and I don't care about those things. My friends are more important to me. And that's what we should, that's how you should be. Even if you're becoming rich and famous and rising, never forget where you came from, and never forget those who supported you and are your good friends, and be friends with them. I really, really, really like this episode. I really, really like this episode. I really liked that moment. MLP a lot to me. Friendship is Magic. A lot of things. It's not just cartoons. It's not just movies. Like, if I was to say movies, I'd be like, oh, that part in No Country for Old Men where Anton Chigurh is in is in the gas station, or like that part on Saving Private Ryan where they let the German guy go, and like he's walking away and they all get into a fight. Like I remember scenes, right? I really scenes warm my heart. The part in Lord of the Rings where Aragorn is like for Frodo and he charges in Return of the King, and you could find all of these moments in stuff that I like, and it really boosts it. And this moment in Sweet and Elite where Rarity has to pick between her friends and she chooses her friends, I really love that moment. Honestly, I'd probably put this episode in second. Like that, I really like that episode a lot. That moves this down here. Secret of My Excess. This is a Spike episode, and Spike episodes in general are garbage. There's already the drama about like Spike and Rarity being a thing, and a lot of people dislike that. And I've heard people say like Rarity is a groomer, and it's just like I don't buy into that. That's silly. I think that Rarity and Spike were kind of just created to be like the trope of the younger person falling in love with the older, like beautiful woman. Like it's in a bunch of stuff. I don't really think it's bad until like later when the other writers get a handle on it and they don't understand the point of the relationship, and then they start trying to turn it into like a romance and taking advantage. It's just bad writers going to bad. But this episode sucks. Like, I know that the only part I remember from this episode is like the part where Rarity says magnificent, because I have like that shirt. And like the part where like Spike is giant and he's like carrying her around and he remembers. It's just not a great episode. Spike episodes are not great in general. To me, I don't like. It's not as bad as the CMC with the cutie marks, but it's still bad. I'd still put Secret of My Excess like there. What is this next episode? Let me see. Oh god, Hearthwarming Eve. I don't like this episode at all. I think this episode is really just I just don't like it at all. I think there's only two worthwhile Hearthwarming episodes. That is the one where Pinkie Pie and Applejack go to the farm and we get a crap ton of marble and limestone. That episode slaps. And then the other episode is the one where Starlight is Scrooge. That episode slaps because that song, Starlight song, is so good in that. But like this one, I don't. This is like really. This is the first one with like the three pony tribes and them fighting and then them coming together. Like this episode, honestly, I would say is below Cutie Pox. I would watch Cutie Pox for that. I don't remember anything from this except for the Wendigos. That's all I remember in this entire episode. And then like, that's, I think, outside the box. That's why, I don't know, Pinkie Pie says something about like thinking outside the box. That's all I remember. This one at least had my sister speaking in fancy in that Pinkie Pie part, but this one is just like, yeah, like I literally have no idea. I have no inclination to watch that episode, nor do I care about it like at all. Family Appreciation Day. This is the episode where I think Apple Bloom is taking Granny Smith for granted. She's embarrassed by her. It's the Zap Apples one, I think. I really don't care for the episode because I don't really like Granny Smith. It's not that I don't like her, it's just that she's like your grandma. I like my grandma. She's just grandma, right? And I agree with the sentiment of the episode and the moral. Treat elders with respect. They are great people, mostly. I mean, I'm sure there are some criminals and evil, but elder people are smart. They're still wise. They still matter a lot. take care of them, listen to them, treat them like people. I agree with all of that. It's just not an MLP thing that I really care to see. It's a good message for the kids. I haven't made this clear, but I'll say this. Everything that I like or dislike is just my demographic for who I am. If you're younger and you like an episode for another reason, that's great. If you like this episode because personal experience and stuff, that's great. I personally haven't experienced this. I've always respected my grandparents and my uncles and aunts. I've always loved them. I've always treated them with respect. So I just figure this is common sense. Why would this need to be told? But again, MLP is common sense messages that everyone should hear anyways. So it's a very, 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 very good message. I just don't dig on the episode because I feel like it should be a lot more obvious. I'd put this one probably like right here. No, not above, because Find a Pet is like really good. This is Baby Cakes. So I don't have a problem with Baby Cakes. It's just not a great episode. Again, I am doing these completely without having looked back at them. That's why I said with Sweet and Elite, I was like, is that the episode? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure, because I'm going back just blind looking with like no recollection for sure what the episodes are. But I don't really remember. I remember the pig song, first you wiggle your tail, oink oink oink, then you I remember that. I really, really think the moment when the flour spills on Pinkie Pie, and then later the babies spill the flour on themselves, that is adorable. That is a really, really cute scene. I really, really don't like this episode because I feel like they really hit lore with it when they had a Pegasus and a unicorn, the cakes, and they're both Earth ponies, and they just kind of like throw it off with a gag, and it's like, okay, so Earth ponies can have anything. No, that's really stupid. We're just doing that for the sake, because see, here's the issue they had with this this episode. If either of the babies were an Earth pony, they wouldn't be able to give Pinkie Pie the same trouble. She's having trouble with one because it flies. She's having trouble with the other because it does magic. If it was just an Earth pony, she wouldn't have that trouble, so the episode wouldn't work as well. And they should have both been Earth ponies, and then it would have been like, oh, this is really bad because there's no issue, really. I think that this episode is really, really eclipsed by the Better Together episode, where Pinkie Pie babysits the girl for Rarity, and the girl is like just reading, and Pinkie Pie does her best to make it exciting and fun for her. I think that does better in like 2 minutes than what this tries to do in an entire episode. I don't really care for this episode at all. Don't really like the Cake Twins. I think that was like I said, a huge blow to lore for the sake of a plot. I'd put this episode probably like right here. This is the last roundup. I think this is the last roundup. Yeah, the last roundup. So, the last roundup, again, that other creator's channel, bashing the last roundup as if it's bad, and I'm just like, how the crap do you think the last roundup is bad? I think that the last roundup is one of the best episodes in the entire series. I think it's an incredible message that is true. I think it is funny. I think that it is like just one of the best episodes in the entire series. Cherry Jubilee is an amazing design. I think that the message is very, very, maybe that other person can't relate. It sucks when you're great at something and then you go to do it and then you fail, and then you're like, they're gonna be mad at me because I failed. like that sucks. Like I've gone to competitions and stuff for like school and sports and whatnot, and like before I go, everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna do awesome. You're like so great at that. You're really good." Like I went to like some computer thing in high school for like programming and stuff, and like, oh yeah, you got that, and then you get like last place or close to last place, and you're just like, dude, I feel stupid, and I don't really want to see anybody because like they're gonna be like, dude, you're lame, and then like when they're not, and you understand that people don't, not that they don't care, but that they love you regardless. People that are your friends and your family will still treat you the same and be like, oh man, it's all right, like you'll do better next time. Like that really is important to understand. It's the literal opposite message from like Family Appreciation Day. Not in the sense of like the subject matter, but in the sense of like, this is obvious, I feel, and this is a very specifically targeted moral that some people will, because some people aren't great at things and they don't have expectations. Like people don't expect things of them, so they never experience the fact that letting those people down can really mess you up. And like maybe that's the problem with that other person, but you also get hilarious moments in this, like no pony breaks a pinky promise. You get Rarity Catch Me, which is like really funny because like, why did Pinky do that? Dude, that Rarity Catch Me is like one of the funniest things. You get the scene with the cherries. You get the homage to freaking I Love Lucy, which I'm sure a bunch of you didn't get because none of you were young enough. None of you are old enough to understand what I Love Lucy is. See, I complain a lot in the comics because I'm like, this is just references. This is just references. This is just references. I hate references when they're done obviously. The line scene where they're doing the cherries and where like they start getting really fast and they're putting it on their hats and stuff, and then Pinkie Pie gets down and tries to put them in their mouth and that's an homage to I Love Lucy. Look it up if you like, put I Love Lucy conveyor belt scene or whatever. Younger people don't get that homage, and that's good because that is in there for older people, and only the older people would be like, oh, I understand that. That is funny because I remember seeing that other thing. But yeah, we get like, I'm sure if I were to watch the last roundup again, I would just be like gushing over it even more so. But like all of this, we get the funny part where Applejack is running the thing and Rainbow Dash is trying to be nice to her, and Applejack just gives her an angry face, and then Rainbow Dash gives her back like a sad face. Like, it's a great episode. I'd put the last roundup like probably there. Last roundup it's fun. The only thing it's missing is a song. It's funny. It's got an incredible message. And I mean, do you need anything else? Yeah, a great song would be great too. And it's got character development. Applejack is ashamed of letting her friends and family down. She struggled with the honesty because sometimes shame is like harder to deal with than being honest. You don't want to out yourself and be like, yeah, I screwed up and I'm not as great as you guys thought I was. But you are as great. Just because you lost doesn't make you any less or worse. Great episode, highly recommend. I don't know what that other person was thinking. Super Speedy Cider Squeezy. So, my issue with Super Speedy Cider Squeezy is the same thing with Find a Pet, or May the Best Pet Win. Find a Pet is the song, May the Best Pet Win is the episode. Super Speedy is just a song. And it's just that. It's literally like, yes, I love the song, but it's basically like the monorail song from The Simpsons, another like kind of homage. It's more like I really don't like this episode because like people are like, yeah, Rainbow Dash is a drunk because of it. I think that's so stupid. Clearly there's no alcohol in the stuff. All of that stupid is just for alcoholics and people who love drinking to be like, yeah, see, they drink in Equestria too. No, they don't. It's a kid's show. Come on. Are we going to be really this stupid? What it gave to the community was way less than what it than what it took away, which was again innocence. Like a lot of other pony people will be like, yeah, they drink and it's hard alcohol and blah blah blah. I don't like that. That's stupid. It's a kids show. Are we doing this for kids to teach them good manners and good morals, and we're also including awesome adult stuff so that adults can watch it with their kids? Or are we just going to be like, yeah, it's alcohol and Rainbow Dash is an alcoholic and the entire town loves alcohol? It's I don't the song isn't enough to I don't I would never listen to the song outside of the show anyways. So like, yeah, I can't with a good conscience say that it's worth it. Read It and Weep. The start of Daring Do sucked only because all they did was make Daring Do Indiana Jones, and then they were like, Daring Do is real, and they made her J.K. Rowling. They combined J.K. Rowling and Indiana Jones, and then they were like, this is interesting, and it wasn't interesting at all. She's a palette swapped Rainbow Dash. I've never liked her. I've never liked any of the episodes surrounding her. We could have gotten way better Dash development, but her entire development was, like, in this episode, it's like, reading is cool. Yeah, duh. Like, who doesn't know that reading is, like, critical to, like, everything? Like, even if you don't read books, you could read, like, magazines or blogs or websites or I think I said magazine. Yeah, it's just, Rainbow Dash is dumb. She lies. She's a thief, literally, in this episode. She's like, I'm trying to steal the book. That's crazy. Just, one of your pro tags is literally like, I am trying to steal, and we don't. It's crazy. I don't care for Read It and Weep, like, at all. I'd say it's like right here-ish. Yeah. Hearts and Hooves Day. I like Hearts and Hooves Day. I like, I don't, let me think of the song name, because all I think of when I think of Hearts and Hooves Day is cheerily is sweet and kind. That's all I think of. What is it? Perfect Stallion, I think is what it's called. Yeah, this is a CMC episode, but it's not about them trying to get their cutie marks. So, surprise, surprise, I actually enjoy it. I don't think it's like one of the best things ever, but I do think it is good enough to be like kind of middling. We get really funny parts. Big Mac's Schmoopy Doo is really funny. We get Oh Come On from Sweetie Belle, which is really funny. It's a good message, kind of. Don't force love with magic potions. It's a fine episode. It's like, I put it like right here. I have no issues with Hearts and Hooves Day. I think it's got a decent. Again, I can like CMC episodes. I think that they're not all trash as long as they don't have to do with just them trying to get their cutie mark. And like, I don't even know. Maybe they are trying to get their cutie mark in that episode, but it doesn't focus on that. A Friend Indeed. So, A Friend Indeed is tough because the episode is fine. It's not, like, exceptional. But the Smile song is exceptional. The Smile song is, like, one of the best songs in the entire series. We get some funny moments. We get, like, the moment where Pinky welcomes the welcome song. We get that. That's great. We get the bald part where she's like, this donkey is really bald. That part is really funny. But then we get, like, the Matilda stuff and Cranky Doodle Donkey. Like, Cranky is not a character I care for. I'm going to completely and purely base this episode on just the song, and I would put it, like, here. Like, if I was going to show a stranger or a friend anything of this episode. It's just the Smile song. Like, that Smile song chorus is insane. The ending where she's like, is a smile as wide as a mile, and like the chorus is singing behind her, all the ponies, that is incredible. The episode itself, it's meh. It's it is heavily favored because of the song. Putting your hoof down, is this, I'm going to guess this is Iron Will. I'm not going to be sure, but I'm going to guess this is Iron Will, and I'm going to check because I don't know for sure. Yeah. So putting your hoof down is really good. I like it a lot. It's not like exceptionally good, but it's good. I like Iron Will. I think he's funny. I think his little shuffles are funny. I think the way he talks is funny. I think this is a great episode. That the moral is good again. You shouldn't be a doormat, but don't be a douchebag. Find that perfect line in between doormat and douchebag, and you're doing well. There's some funny parts in this when Rarity and Pinky go talk to Fluttershy and she starts insulting them and they're crying. That part is really funny, and I think Rarity does the like like she's like crying but she's running away and like crying dramatically. I think it's a decent episode. I think it's good. It doesn't have a song or anything. It had a cool new character. Minotaurs being in there is interesting. I'd say that this episode is probably like right about here. This is like whatever time. It's about time. This episode was really bad, unfortunately for Twilight. All I remember about this entire episode is the Metal Gear Solid reference, and that's a weird reference to do in your kids show, because I feel like this is like with the I Love Lucy one, it wasn't so obvious, and this one is like Twilight is Solid Snake. Okay. It doesn't really make sense at all. You can't the time travel in this doesn't make sense. She couldn't have been the one to worry herself into doing that, because she never would have come back to begin with to tell her about that. It doesn't make sense. If you want sensible like time travel, go watch Harry Potter and the what is it? Order of the... No, I don't think it's the Order of the Phoenix. It's before that. Maybe Goblet of Fire. Maybe... Is it Goblet? No, Goblet is when Cedric dies. I think it's the one... Chamber of Secrets. Maybe it's the one after. It's one of the Harry Potter movies when they're using the time turner. That was done way better because everything that happened had already happened, and then you just see that it had happened because of them, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. It already happened. Whereas this is like... It just shows her go back in time and she's there, but why did she come back? And she comes back because she came back, and that makes no sense. Obviously, the writer didn't know how time travel like would work logically or even like sensibly. Yeah, I don't really care for this episode, and Metal Gear Solid is great. I love Solid Snake. I beat the first one on PlayStation a long time ago. I played the second one with Raiden. I played the third one, but like, yeah, I don't really care for this episode. I think it's like down here. Yeah, unfortunately. This one is the one where Spike goes to Dragon Quest. This is the one where Spike goes to do dragon things, and the girls go with him, I think, in the Crackle outfit or whatever. The Crackle outfit is really funny. Like, they're funny to whatchamacallit, but like, unfortunately, Spike episodes are bad. Garble sucked. We didn't get Ember here. Ember is when the dragons actually... Like, Ember is when the dragons first start being cool, and then they get even better with Smolder, and then, like, that's what I care about the dragons, when Ember and Smolder are there. But, like, this, I don't... Like, there's some funny sight gags, like, when... There's one thing in this episode that I remember, and it's when, like, the dragons look at, I think it's Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity. they're in the dragon outfit and they're like, yeah, I think that's whatever's cousin, and it shifts to the other dragon and it's an actual dragon that looks the exact same, but he's not in an outfit. That part is really, really funny. So like I always remember that part, but like everything else in this episode, it's just a Spike episode. So I'd still like put it like only like, actually I don't, I'd probably put it like, I'd probably put it like right here. I don't think it, no, like right here. Yeah, I put it like right there. I think that's the fine place for it. Next up, I think this is Hurricane Fluttershy. Pretty sure this is Hurricane Fluttershy. Let's see. Yeah, Hurricane Fluttershy. This episode is actually pretty decent for Rainbow Dash. She's not so much a douchebag in this episode, and that's great. She's more understanding. I wish that the development that she gets had stayed, because she's a douchebag later to Fluttershy in like 28 Pranks Later and stuff. We get some of the other Pegasus that live in Ponyville, like Thunder Lane and like Cloud Chaser, I think, in some of them. We get Fluttershy just building confidence. I think that's great. She makes the difference. She is the one who helps move the water. It's an overall like decent episode. It's a good Fluttershy motivational episode. I'd say it's probably around maybe like right here. Yeah, I'd say like right there. Okay. Ponyville Confidential is the CMC episode where they're writers and they like are Gabby Gums or whatever, and they start writing like gossip column, and it's fine. Again, I don't know if they're trying to get their like cutie mark in like newspaper or whatever, but it doesn't focus on that. It focuses on them writing like the lies about everyone. This is where we get the cake stuff for Celestia, and then she's obsessed with cake. The part that I will always remember in this episode is when they're like Fluttershy has like mane and tail extensions or whatever, and like she slowly does the like lowering thing. That is hilarious. I think that's like one of the funniest moments in a lot of the episodes. Like that always gets me. It's super, super funny. Other than that, I don't remember. I know like Diamond Tiara is like the editor or whatever, and like they apologize in the end and they go. Other than that, I don't really remember. I just remember that part. It's not a great episode. It's not an absolute garbage episode. I'd say it's probably around like right here is probably where I'd put it. This is a mystery on the whatever express. This has hair covering eye rarity, and she looks amazing like that. But it also has that Rarity wears false eyelashes, which sucks because Rarity should have been a natural beauty. Like, it sucks that they had to pretty her up. Yeah, I enjoy this episode. I think it's... I really wish like we would have gotten a continuation of it later, because what happens is Twilight teaches Pinkie Pie how to be a detective, and then we never get to see Pinkie really being a detective. I don't really have any issues with this episode. It doesn't really like stand out. We get like the three cooks, like one of them's like a griffin, I think, and then I forget what the other two are, like eclairs, and it's an acceptable episode. Nothing like incredibly special. Dang, top 5 look really good. Yeah, I'd say this is like probably like right around here. That's where I'd put it. Mystery on the whatever express, Midnight Express. I don't know what it's called. This one is A Candlelight Wedding, part 1. So personally, this is one of the best, and it's one of the most enraging season enders ever. We get super amazing songs. We get like BBBFF, which is amazing. We get in this first one, I think BBBFF is the only song we get. We get Sunshine, Ladybug's Awake, which is awesome. We get really now is the time. Now is the time to say that the girls are out of character, because we've gotten 2 seasons worth of their development, and it's like no one believes Twilight. That's kind of weird. Chrysalis is kind of really stupid because I saw a really good fan fiction. I read a really good fan fiction a while back, and it was about Derpy. And what happens is Derpy was originally a changeling, and Chrysalis had hatched like the perfect changeling to go and to do reconnaissance for her, so that she could know exactly how to act like Cadenza when she went and kidnapped Cadenza. But what happened is Derpy accidentally dropped like a huge statue on that other changeling, and that changeling died. And then Derpy was like, guess I have to go do that now. So she goes on accident to Ponyville. and then like and then like she's reporting to Chrysalis, and Chrysalis is like, have you learned stuff about the Pink Pony Princess? And like Derpy takes it as Pinkie Pie, and like it's just this whole mess, and she feeds her all of this incorrect information because she doesn't want to get found out. And then eventually she just like lives in Ponyville because she's like, I'm not gonna go back, they're gonna murder me. And like that's why Chrysalis was completely a douche and like wrong about the way she was acting as Cadenza. And I thought that fanfic was perfect. It was really funny. But like Chrysalis here is an idiot. Nobody listened to Twilight. Even Celestia was a douche to Twilight. That was enraging. But I love Cadenza. Well, we'll just talk about this first one. I love Cadenza. Shining Armor's fine. I like the idea, but I don't like the execution with some of the characters. But I'd still put this one like probably like right here. A Canterlot Wedding Part 2. So this one is much better. But it also just destroys Celestia because F Celestia at this point, I guess. She gets wrecked by Chrysalis, and that's pathetic. The first time we actually get to see her even like use a spell offensively, and she loses. That sucks. But we get like This Day aria, which is not arguably, it's one of the best shows in the entire show. Songs in the entire show. We get Chrysalis. Chrysalis is the best villain in the entire show. We get more Cadenza, like actual Cadenza, and actual Cadenza is amazing. This scene, like this thumbnail or whatever, where like Twilight attacks Cadenza and like Cadenza does Sunshine. I love that entire scene. This Day aria is amazing right after it. This is the song at the end. I really hate how they excluded Luna. I hate how they brought her in at the end, but like Finding a Place for You, the song, I'm forgetting, it's slipping my mind. I'm thinking of freaking Make a Wish, It's Your Birthday for some reason, but give me a second if I could. It's the one, A Beautiful Bride and a Hat. Love Is in Bloom. Love Is in Bloom is a great song too. I think it's overshadowed by This Day aria, but it's an amazing song. Yeah, I think this is one of the better episodes, better enders out of all of the enders and openers. We got so much out. I think it gave more than it took away. Yes, it took away the mystique from Celestia, and yes, it made Luna look like a big old doofus. But we got Chrysalis, we got real Cadenza, we got This Day aria, we got Love Is in Bloom. Yeah, I'd put this one probably like right here. at number 6. And that would be the list. Luna Eclipsed was not going to get beaten. It's Luna Eclipsed. That's by far like one of my favorite episodes. Sweet and Elite, that scene at the end, incredible. Last roundup is amazing. Incredible message, really, really funny. I think this one is the funniest out of all 5 of these. Lesson Zero is really good animations on Twilight and one of the best messages in all of MLP. And Sisterhood Social is probably because I love Rarity and Sweetie Belle so much. I think that they're the best sisters other than the Immortal Sisters. And I think that their dynamics together and how they are with each other is really, really great. 6 through 10 is almost exclusively the opener and ender. And then the Smile Song hard carries this. And then all of these episodes are pretty mid. And the bottom of the barrel is not even close, is a Cutie Mark episode. But Heartwarming Eve episode. I really, really, really don't care for this episode at all. I don't care for the lore that it was. I don't care for anything having to do with this episode. So yeah, first is Luna Eclipsed. Last is Heartwarming Eve. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, that was fun. I knew seeing Luna Eclipse there that I was like, yeah, this is going to be the best episode of this season. I didn't really expect Sweet and Elite to be up there that high, but then I remember that part, and I think that part is beautiful. And there aren't many beautiful moments in MLP. There might be. I'll keep going. Like the beautiful moment that I remember in season 1 is the one where Twilight is talking about the girls and them being, and she's like, "You are my friends," and her eyes glow white. Like that's beautiful to me. But yeah. Next one will be season 3, and season 3 is much shorter. It was the short season with only 13 episodes, and that one will be over pretty quick. But yeah, if you want, let me know what your favorite and least favorite episodes of season 2 are. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye.